In this tutorial video, we'll be building a sports tracking view by Taras Miguko and found on Dribble. Check out the description below for the link so you can also see it on your computer. And after we are done building that using the Jetpack Compose UI framework, we'll have this as results. As you can see, it's on an emulator. My name is Jero and I'm a mobile developer for the Android and iOS platform. So firstly, let's have an overview of the design we'll be implementing. The design to have a clearer view of what we're going to build. We can break this UI into three main sections. We have the app bar or the toolbar, we have the main body section, and the button navigation bar. The toolbar will contain a round image view, text of two different stylings, a notification icon with a badger. For the main body, we have firstly a lazy row, then we have a container containing some text, buttons, and image, other icons and text. Then we have another container which contains a circular progress view and some text. Then finally, for the bottom bar, we have 4 navigation items with gray outlines, and for a selected has a field with the color white. The best way to learn something is by doing, and that's what I believe. So if you would like to code along with me during this tutorial video, go into the description below and you will find a link to the GitHub repository. Once the GitHub repository, you will select the starter branch. After selecting the starter branch, you will come to code. You will copy this link. When you have the link copied, you go to your Android Studio, File, New, and Project for version control. Then you just have to paste the URL and press clone, and the project will be cloned to your machine. After the project is cloned, opened, and successfully built on Android Studio, we come here to make sure we are on the starter branch. In the starter branch, we just have a main activity Kotlin file. In the resources, you can find some resources drawables we'll be using in this tutorial. Here, we have a composable which we use as a preview. We call it default preview with an array list of text which we'll use for the lazy row. It's in here that we'll write all our code. So now, let's begin writing the code. We will begin with the top app bar. Let's fully break down all the components of the top app bar. This is a top app bar, but we have mainly 1, 2, 3 items. All items are aligned horizontally, so we use a row. In the row, we have another row which will contain a circular image, a text view which will contain 2 texts differently styled, and we'll have some space here. Then the final item will be a notification icon with a badge. So let's zoom out and head into Android Studio where we can start writing the code. Firstly, in the store app theme, we'll create a scaffold, and in the scaffold we'll create a top app bar which we call top bar. It takes in a lambda, and the lambda will create a top app bar, open brackets. In here, we first want to give it a modifier and want to give it a horizontal padding of 18 cp. So we'll do modifier equals to modifier padding of 18 cp. We also want to give it an elevation of 0 because we don't want any elevation, and a background color of white. Then in the body of the app bar, we want to put all elements in a row. I want the row to fill the max size. We also want to give it a horizontal padding of 5 dp, and we want to align items vertically to center vertical. In the body of the row, we first have a box. The box will be used to create the circular image. So we'll give it a modifier. We'll first give it a size of 65 dp. Then we'll give it a rounded shape. using clip with a circle shape. Then align the content to center, because we want the image to be center. Then in the box, we'll create an image composable, and as image resource, we'll use Penta resource to get a drawable from the drawable folder. We'll say r.drawable.profile. And pass it a content description. I'll just say profile image. After a rounded image, we want the text, which will be the hello name. And instead of using a text, use a build annotated string. In a build annotated string, you can append multiple strings, and for each of those appended strings, give it a custom style. First, we'll append a hello string, comma, the space. Then, with a style, or span style, the text will have a color of black, a font weight of bold, and the font size of, let's say, 20 sp. Then in here, we'll pass in the text using append, and we'll use my name, or you can use your own name. I'll use mine, call it Geo. So to this annotated string, let's collapse this. We'll pass in the modifier. I will give it a padding start. Padding start. Give it a padding start of 10 dp. So after the rounded image, hello text, we'll then need to create a space using a spacer. The modifier. We'll give it a weight of 1. It's in float, so it occupies all the available space remaining. And after occupying all the available space, with the remaining space, we want to insert a bashed box. Takes a lambda. We want to create a batch. Create a batch using batch, and give it a modifier. Want a batch to have a circular shape. Want it to have a background of red, and align the batch to the bottom end. So the batch box will contain an icon, which is the icon of the notification icon. I'll use an image vector since we want to use a default compose image. So image included with the Jetpack Compose library. So use them by calling icons. I want a field icon since it will be field black, called notifications. And as content description, we'll say notification icon. Let's not forget our icon has a tint of black or color of black. And with this, we are done with the top app bar. All we need to do is run this on a physical device and see how it looks like. But before that, we have an error, and it's solved by giving a body to the scaffold. Because if you have a top bar or a bottom bar, then by default you need to include a body. So let's run this on our emulator and see how it looks like. As you can see on our preview, our right design. Let's zoom this a little. So we have the rounded image. We have a text with different fonts. This one is bold and black, while this one is normal text. And we have our icon with the notification badge. So now let's move to creating the bottom app bar. Let's zoom to the bottom bar so we can have a better overview. So in the bottom bar, what you can first notice is the top corners are rounded, and the bottom navigation bar contains 4 items. The first item is filled with the color of white, and the remaining 3 are just outlined with the gray color. In our Android Studio IDE, what we first want to do is minimize the top bar body, so we have more space to create a bottom navigation bar. Like you might have guessed, to create a top bar in the scaffold, we'll write top bar. It takes a lambda, and the lambda will create top app bar. A bottom app bar. In here, we want to give it a modifier, as you guess it, to fill the max size. And since it has rounded corners, we'll clip it, then we'll give it a rounded corner shape. And here, we want to set the top start to be rounded by 20 dp, and the top end to also be rounded by 20 dp. We want our elevation of 5 dp and a background color of black. Let's not forget we've omitted an C here. Good. In the body of the bottom app bar, let's first give a visual code. We want to align the items horizontally, so we use a row. Use a modifier for the row to fill the max size, and have a horizontal padding of 20 dp. Also want to arrange the items horizontally to space around each other. So in the rows body, we want to create one of the 4 bottom navigation items. So we'll call them bottom navigation item. And this first one will be selected, so we'll pass selected to true. Let's rearrange this. And it does not have an click action, so we'll leave this empty. In here, we want a selected content color, so we can give it a white color when it's selected. Filled white color, filled white. And want to give it an icon, which will pass an icon composable, and the image vector of icons dot field dot person. The content description will be bottom icon. That is it. So we have successfully created a button navigation item. We just need to copy this 4 more times. 1, 2, and the last, which is a foot. We will change the icons of the others. So this won't be selected, so we'll set to false. We'll give it an unselected, content color of gray, and the icon will be outlined instead of filled. And the icon name will be full screen. Full screen. So let's copy this and replace it with the third one. The icon name will be tune. Let's replace this with what we copied, and the icon name will be radio button unchecked. Let's run this on our emulator and see the results. This is what we have here. Let's zoom in so we can better see the details. We have rounded top corners of 20 dp and our 4 items. The first item is filled with the white color, and the others are outlined with the gray color. Now we can move on to the main content. Moving on to the main content. In the main content, we have 3 main items. We have a lazy row, we have a container, then we have another container. So we'll first want to stack all the items in the content section vertically. Then we'll create a lazy row. So let's start with the lazy row. First thing first, in the code, to create more space, minimize the bottom bar. We first want to create a column, and our column will fill all the max available space using fill max size. And you also have your horizontal padding. Of 18 dp. Then in our column, we first want to have a spacer, so we're not too close to the top upper, and which will have a size of 15 dp. Then we'll start with a lazy row, and items will be arranged horizontally with space in between each item of 12 dp. Using the spaced by. This row will be created using our workout categories created above, and for each workout we need to create a workout item. So we'll create it as a simple composable. I'll call it the workout type. We take workout, and let's come to the workout type here and start building our composable. If we have a good look at this item, it has a selected state and an unselected state. The selected state has a rounded cornered shape with a background of black, and a text of white, while the untitled state is still rounded corner shape with a background of white, text of black, and also a border of light gray or gray color. So we'll need to have a selected state, which will be selected by remember and then immutable state of false, since we want it to be a boolean. We'll have a background color if selected color dot black, else color dot white. We also have a text color equals to if selected color dot white, else you have a black color. Now let's create a view of our compose. We'll use an outlined button. It will be selectable and it will be a button. After the on-click action, we'll give our button a shape of rounded corner. And we'll give it 20 dp. The content padding, the content found in the button will have a padding of 6 dp. Use padding values of 6 dp. You have a border, of course. This border stroke. The width of the border will be 1 dp. This is a small border. With a color of dot gray. I want to change the color of the button depends on the state, so we use color. I'll use button default dot text button colors, and here I want background color and will be the background color. And inside the outline button, obviously want to have a text which will hold the value of our workout type, and it has a text of workout, which will be getting as a parameter in the composable. You have a color of text color and a font size of 18 sp. Let's run this on our emulator and look at the result. So as final results, we have this. So let's put it into interactive mode and see if it goes. We can confirm that it scrolls, but wait, we forgot about the selection. For the selection in the on-click action of the button, we want to lock the select state. So we'll say selected is equals to not selected, to the inverse of the current selected value, and that will do it. So now let's move to the next section. We'll first have a spacer after the lazy row, then we'll have a box. Inside that box, you have a column, obviously to stack our items on a vertical axis. Then we have a row to hold these 2 items. Then we have a spacer, then another box which will contain a row and an image. Then after that, we have a spacer, then a row which will contain this icon and this button. So let's implement it. we'll first collapse this, then we'll go back to code view. Then let's also collapse the lazy row to gain more space. After the lazy row, we'll have a spacer with a size of 30 dp. This spacer will have a box, modifier of, we'll give it a horizontal padding of 20 dp. One round the corner, so we'll use a clip. And shape it 10%. Of a black and color with using color resource, since we're getting from our resources. Amount of color dot light purple. So in this box, just finish our code. We'll have a column with modifier to give it a horizontal pattern of 20 dp horizontally and vertically of 22 dp. Then we'll have a row which will host our text and our button, our top text and button. Wanted to fill the max width. Horizontal arrangement of items. Horizontal arrangement of items to space between. Vertical alignment of items of center vertical. We'll have a text. Loads. Just on a blue line. Belly fat. Our text will have a color of black. A font width of bold. And a font size of 30 sp. Next to the text, we'll have a button. Of course, you have rounded corners. 20 dp. Content padding. Of 6 dp. By default, leave on click action. Empty body. And for our button colors, we use default button default. Oops, sorry. Use button default. Dot text button color. And for the colors, we want the background color to change. Use the color resource and use the light purple color again. Add the color to light purple. And in our button, you host a text composable with a text of middle level. Our text will have a color of white and a font size of 18 sp. it's not here. I need to move this to here on the bottom. So after a row, we have a spacer. We'll give it 15. Then we have another box which will contain an image. When the box will have around the corner shape. Of 30 dp. And the background color. Use background color of white. So okay, it has to be out. It has to be here. Now in our box, we have a row and items will align vertically to center vertically. In that row, we have just 2 items. It's better to push our image to the end. I'll give it a width of half, like where half of the space available in the row, and an image. Use a painter, a source, add a drawable dot dumbbell, so dumbbell shape. Obviously, to have a content description, we call it dumbbell, and as modifier, we'll give it a size of 200 dp. After our box, we have first a spacer. We'll give it a size of 10. Now we're here. We should automate our final row, which should contain the timer and the start button or action. So we have a row. Wanted to fill the max width and align items vertically to center vertical. In the row, we have an icon first with an image vector. Default compose icons of outline. Use schedule. Content description, also timer, and obviously our icon will have a tint or color of black. After icon is a text, which will be saying 40 minutes. You have a font size of 18 sp. Let's see. The color of black. And as modifier, we want to modify the padding. And give it a padding start from the icon of 5 dp. Then what is spacer? Spacer with a weight of 1. Let's occupy all the remaining available space to then include our final element, which is the text button. Click action is null. As colors, we use default button defaults. Sorry, thank you to correct. Text button colors. I want to give it a background color of transparent. Transparent. Okay, come on. The text button will contain, see, text button. Okay, in the bottom of the text button, we will have a text first, start, called start. Now as text, we will have start. As font size, to have 20 sp. As font width, it will be bold. As font width, it will be bold. My text will have a color of black. Then after our text, we'll have an icon. Use an image vector. Icons, field, and arrow forward. That's the content description. We will call it timer, whatever. Then icon will have a tint of black. So you see, we're heavy on the usage of auto suggestions. It's the best feature in IT, and you should use it. It's not bad. It doesn't make you a bad programmer. It just makes you to gain a lot of time. So I think we are done with that composable. Let's preview it on a device. After running it, we'll see we're on point with the design, except for the middle level button. I gave it the wrong background color. So it is the button middle level. It was supposed to be purple 200. Yes, that was it, a darker color. Okay, that solved our problem. We have a deeper purple on the button. So now let's move to the final section. We have a spacer, of course, then the rounded corner box, which should contain a circular progress view in its middle, a text view. Then by the side, we have a text view and another text view with different fonts. So this will be a row, a box, and a column containing two texts. So in our IDE, right after let's create space by collapsing this box, collapsing all this code. So after this box, we have a spacer. We'll give it a size of 20 dp. The spacer now will have another box. Make it will fill the max width. We'll give it a padding horizontal 20 dp. We want around the corner, so we'll say clip. On the corner shape, and will be rounded to 20 dp. Let's use percentages. I use 20% of a background color. We'll use the color resource since it's a predefined image. Use the color resource, and the color is orange. Horizontal. Let's close this. Inside a box, we have a row which will be holding our two main items, left and right. Want it to fill the max width and have a padding all around of 20 dp. For the vertical alignment, we want to center them horizontally. We want to center them vertically for vertical alignment, and horizontal, there should be space between. Then inside our row, we'll first have a box. That will be our leftmost item. Align the contents in that box to the center. Inside our box, we have a circular progress indicator. Let's modify it by giving it a size modifier. I give it a size of, let's say, 75 dp. Let's give it a color of black. Let's give it a predefined progress of 56%. So we're using flow to be 0.56, and the width of our stroke. And the width of our stroke will be 8 dp. After a circular prosecutor, not after, on top of it, center we have a text of 56%. We have easily used a variable, but this is a UI tutorial. The text will have a color of black, a font weight of bold, and a font size of 25 sp. So we are done with the box. After that, we have a column of text. We don't need no music. Here we have two text. The first text will be great. we have a color of black, a font width of bold, and a font size of 20 sp. Then we just duplicate this. Our text will be roof lost 56% of on a new line daily calories intake will be color of gray, and a font size of 16 sp. So we are done with that. Let's go into the device and see how it looks like. Great. So we are done with our design. This bottom section is right on the UI as it's supposed to be. 56%. Circular progress indicator, the text and another text vertically stacked. And if we run this on an emulator device, we'll present it with this. So we have a top bar, we have a lazy row. If we select, it gives the selection state, we'll select it on selects. We have this set button, rose belly fat, we have the image on the right, the timer text, and a bottle with transparent background. Then we have a circular image one, all of this. So thank you for watching the video to the end. If the video was informative for you, leave a comment. Don't forget to smash the like button and support me by subscribing to the channel and turning on your bell notifications. And on this, catch you in another video. Bye.